Business cards.
Personal Service Center. That's the one on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street, right?
Just look for the yellow signs. Your pedigree palace will be a reality in no time.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala!
All right, it's 5 minutes after 9 o'clock. It's time for Professor Gadget. Jim George is his real name. Jim is the owner of American Cable Services, and he comes into the studios every Friday to talk to us about gadgets. There's, every week there's something in the news about gadgets, but today, you as a veteran, we have a special song for you, Jim.
Oh, all right.
Over hill, over dale, we have
There you go.
the dusty trail, and the army goes rolling.
Jim just told me he was in the Army, Robert.
That's it.
Thank you, Jim.
And he's going to go take advantage of a free meal somewhere
That's
today.
right. We're going to go to Denny's.
Oh, good job.
For it's high in the U.S. Army.
They have a Grand Slam, and I'm going to Grand Slam it.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
I love the Grand Slam
should get that.
what is it called? Denny's. Hello.
Denny's.
Yep, Denny's.
I almost said Arby's. Which restaurant said they were going to start selling venison?
Arby's.
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 Yep.
Wow.
Dear me. Oh, my.
So I have a little gadget story to tell you.
All right.
Doug is in. Well, he's not in a. He said yes, in a nursing home, but he's rehabilitating. He had a what do you call it? Urinary tract infection.
Okay.
Was in the hospital for maybe 3 days, and then now he's just hopefully he'll go home today. I think is what they said.
Yeah, that's what he said.
But in the meantime, I've been taking care of his cat.
Oh, I didn't even know he even had a cat.
Okay, so
Yeah.
in order to take care of his cat, I go to his house, and the cat's an outdoor cat.
Oh, okay.
So the cat knows, okay, this is the guy that's feeding me now. So I open the door, the cat runs in, goes straight to her bowl, and because she's an outdoor cat, I have to wait for her to be done before I leave. Okay, which means I get to turn on Doug's TV
Okay.
and watch his TV. And that antenna that you gave him, and what's the gentleman's name?
Ken.
You and Ken gave Doug.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Now, I mean, I knew that it worked. I mean, Doug had told me it worked, and I saw it real briefly, but I actually got to kind of watch something on it. It was kind of cool. I was watching the news or whatever I was watching. It was kind of cool.
There's a lot of channels out there. My goodness.
And I'm thinking, because I didn't turn the antenna, I'm thinking if I had, then I could have found more and stuff. But anyway, it's really neat.
Yep, those antennas, those off-the-air antennas that Ken sells at Markets of Marion are really cool. I mean, and they're not expensive. We actually bought one and put it on top of our tower. The purpose wasn't to distribute channels. The purpose was to see what's out there also. Because his has a preamp built in. So something that an antenna may not always pick up because it's kind of far away, his amplifies it so I can see it. And
Really?
then I read the signal strength, and that tells me whether or not I can purchase a legitimate, antenna, one of the expensive ones, to see if I can get it. And if the signal level's too low, then I say, no, it's good enough for a TV to watch, but it's not good enough to reprocess to send out. But it's a great antenna.
So I'm going back to your service in the Army. Did you do technical things in the Army?
No. You know the Army, they're fat, dumb, and happy. So they.
Oh, gee.
I had 4 years of high school electronics, had my ham radio license.
Well, that's perfect.
And I got drafted, and they put me in the infantry, and then put me in cook school, and then put me in personnel specialist school.
Oh, they didn't use your skills.
And then sent my butt to Vietnam for 14 months.
Oh, my goodness.
So
Were you on the ground?
Yes.
In Vietnam?
So when I came out, I went back to college and got my degree in electronics. But I kept asking them, don't you want me to do something electronically? Nope. Nope. You are going to go out there.
When did we start using the word electronics? Because it used to be electric, and then it became electronic. What can you define the difference between the two?
Well, things operate on electricity, so therefore they are electric.
Right.
Electronics is basically a device that uses that electricity. So you have an electronic device.
I really never knew that. So a light bulb is electronic.
It is. It's an electronic device. It turns voltage into light. It's a medium converter. Think about it. That's an interesting process to turn one medium into another medium.
Can you imagine this? We had a guy on the show, and he could hear light. He could see it and hear it.
Really?
Yeah.
He needs help, this guy.
Yeah, he wrote a whole book about it.
Hear light. You realize he's got...
I know, it sounds weird, but that's what he told us.
His only quiet time is in the bathroom with the lights off. I mean, come on. You walk outside, there's light. I mean, there's light everywhere.
Oh, my God.
I mean, help me, please, somebody.
Oh, my God.
I'm homesteading.
But, right? I mean, I'm telling it the way it is, right? He heard light.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I said, well,
You're
what does
selling
it sound like? And he says, well, it depends. If it's like a
depends.
flashing light, he hears every time he sees the light, he hears the... And I said to him, does this happen in your dreams? Do you see light? And he said, nobody ever asked me that, and I don't think so. So I said, well, it's got to be physical then if it's not in your dreams. There's actually some kind of a physical... something, your wires from your eyes crossed with the wires from your ears or something.
It had a name, and I can't recall what the name is, but boy, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I know I have ringing in my ears, and I have it all the time.
Oh.
Some of it's military related. The rest of it's the fact that I take an aspirin a day. And they said before I started taking an aspirin a day, it will create tinnitus, I think they call it, ringing in your ears.
Right.
And I do have that. But it's just it's a low-level background, like 1,000 crickets, a mile away, chirping, just a low level.
Really?
So I can still hear. With the size of ears I've got, I can hear anything.
Yeah, but that's really amazing because you do have a handicap then, and then in your field, you have to be able to hear things when you hook up whatever it is that you do, and that is really amazing that you're able to distinguish between that and get the people exactly where they need to be.
It is amazing. I think it just comes from practice because I am totally colorblind. I mean,
no way.
I get one of those books and you look
Are
at
you
it.
really?
I am
Really?
totally. I can't see any color from any other color, and yet I handle cables all day long that are color coded, like 25
You
pair of
honestly
cables.
can't tell color from one another.
Cannot.
Wow, but you can hook up the cables in the proper colors.
I
where
think
they
what
go.
it is, I look at white.
What color is this? What color is the eraser on this pencil?
Well, it's either blue or purple, but I can't tell.
Oh, but okay, but you must be able to tell something.
Well, there again, I'm doing. But when you see colors in a chart, and there's a name in there or a number in there, I can't distinguish it.
Oh my gosh,
Right.
never knew that.
Let me draw something on this. Hold on. No,
Here we go.
don't look at what color I picked. All right, I just drew a big square. What color did I draw it with?
I don't see a square.
You don't see the square?
No, must be on your
Oh,
side.
come on. No, it's words.
Yeah.
Robin, what color is that square?
Wait.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just one of the things.
I'm teasing you.
One of the things I do.
It's a square piece of paper.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the phone. Good morning.
Too much funny on Veterans Day.
You're on the air with Jim George, Professor Gadget.
Okay, thanks everybody, and good morning. Before I get to my question, I always thought if you were colorblind, the military wouldn't accept you.
Well, I always thought if you were flat-footed, it wouldn't accept you, but it did. And and I had other problems, and they all they said is you're standing up. Yep. Can you see that wall? Yep. Okay. And you have a finger. They had people there that the trigger finger was missing.
Yeah.
And that they wouldn't accept the guy with the. I said I'll cut that little tip right off. But anyway, they took me.
And
Just recently, last week, I had new fluorescent lighting put in my kitchen, and they put the new with the smaller bulbs in, and that. And it seems to throw a little more light, a little more than the old bulb did. The question is, can I apply a dimmer switch to fluorescent lighting with the ballast and all that?
No, what you actually should have done is probably gotten some LED bulbs. They're more expensive, they're more brighter, very much more brighter, and you can dim those. But because you have fluorescence, the answer is no. As you reach a certain voltage, they will just turn off.
oh, really?
In other words, they need a certain amount of power. Now, if you have an electronic ballast, and I don't know if you do or not, but you may, then you might be able to get a dimmer for that. Just ask the people who put it in. That's all.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm glad I called because I was going to try putting a dimmer switch because it seems like those bulbs throw a little more light than the older type bulb.
Well, isn't that what you wanted, and that's why you changed them?
I didn't realize it was going to get that bright.
Yeah, they did. They get very bright.
Now the wife wants to kind of dim it down a little bit. So I said, well, maybe I can apply a dimmer switch to it, but
Sure.
I guess I can't.
Or, try tinfoil. No, I'm only kidding. Yeah. No.
Either that or take a couple of bulbs off, just use half of them.
You could take a couple of bulbs off, and you can do that. Yep. Yeah, I go into office buildings all the time where they only have half the bulbs in.
Oh, my.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I think Hugh is a veteran, so thank you, Hugh, for your service.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we'll take a little break. Be right back with Jim George. The phone calls are always welcome. The number is 622-9622, and thank you for your service, Jim George. He's an Army veteran. We'll be right back.
It was like a soldier shout while the army goes rolling along.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Hi, my name is Erica Olstein. I'm a doctor of acupuncture and oriental medicine. So, you used to be wired, now you're just tired. You used to be thin, but now you're the heaviest you've ever been. You don't necessarily always have to take a med if your thyroid is playing dead. If you have a thyroid disorder, an acupuncture visit may be in order. Come visit me, your primary care physician, Erica Olstein, at A Better You Healthcare. Call me at 352-615-5566.
Hey, this is Matt Wilkerson from Verizon. You work all day, right? So why would you want to spend your night out shopping for that new phone? Well, Marion County, let me and Verizon help you out. I can deliver to your home or office, saving you precious time. Phone, tablets, internet, home phones, even accessories. Whatever you need, we will deliver free of charge. Call me at the store, 352-528-0020. That's 528-0020.
Howdy, folks. For over 4 decades, we at Dairy Queen have been proud to serve our customers with the finest and freshest cooked-to-order, quick-service comfort foods in the world. For instance, our new Philly steak and cheese sandwiches with grilled peppers and onions on an artisan focaccia bread bun. So steaming hot and yummy you won't believe it. We also added seasoned potato skins filled with queso cheese and bacon. Wow, they're tasty. So come on down to Dairy Queen at Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
FlySanford.com, Orlando Sanford International Airport. We are SFB. Simpler, faster, better.
Visiting friends and family or just looking for some fun? Book your vacation now to one of their nonstop destinations, including Amsterdam, Brussels, Mexico City, San Juan, as well as over 70 domestic destinations, including New Orleans.
For enjoyable travel, come to Orlando Sanford International Airport. We are SFB. Simpler, faster, better. Before you fly, FlySanford.com.
All right, 18 minutes after 9 o'clock. Beautiful Friday morning, by the way. Jim George is here, also known as Professor
With
Gadget.
Joe, the veteran Navy guy, the water bug.
Joe is here as well.
Oh, you're killing me, Jim.
Where's your microphone over there?
Number 6.
And you do have a phone call. Let's take that call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning. So does Mr. George remember the mnemonic for the resistor color code?
Oh yes, you mean like Bad Boys?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a little X-rated, so
Yes.
I won't say it on the radio.
Definitely keep it clean.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Have a good day.
Well, that was something that was over my head.
So when you have a resistor or other parts, in order to remember how to read them, because they had colored bands.
Go ahead.
You had to memorize a colored band.
What do you have, Jim?
So so black, brown, so.
Yeah.
What was yours? I want to hear. I'll tell you mine. You do yours.
I don't think I have one I can say over the air.
Yeah. Let's see. Big boys. Oh, gee, I forgot it now. It's so many years.
Well,
it's go ahead. You do well. Cut yours.
So big boys would be black or blue, right? B and
no,
B?
black, brown.
Black brown. Okay.
And then red, and then orange. I got to write it down so I can remember.
Oh yeah. Big boys.
You can't give us a hint with the
Yellow.
the dirty words.
But
green.
But Violet loves something or another at the end. Yeah, you remember it by a ding
blue, gray.
Yeah.
And then what?
Silver was plus.
What's yellow? What's W? White. So it's black, brown, red, orange, yellow, green, blue. Gray and white.
All right, and then silver or gold is a plus or minus 10%.
Yep, exactly. So in the electronics realm, they had to come up with some acronyms to help you remember this.
Right.
Oh, bad boys rape our young girls, but violent gives willingly.
There you go. That's that is the one you memorize.
That's the one I memorized.
and now, everybody send your emails to Joe at.
Back 1970, where the heck did that came from? But
Yeah, right.
back then, it was politically incorrect too. Also, yes.
Yeah. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning. This is you calling back again. I just wanted to correct something. I am not a veteran, but I do everything I can to salute the vets. And I'm in the process right now of getting a brick at Veteran Park for my sister-in-law, who died recently of breast cancer, and she served in a Desert Storm. So I'm hoping to do that real soon.
Well, we appreciate your support.
As far as honoring the vets, I do as much as I can, and I really appreciate it. There's a lot of family members who are vets, but I always ask, when everybody ever asks me if I'm a vet or not, I said, yeah, I'm a vet of 2 marriages.
There you go. There you go.
You do so much for the veterans, our community, all the time. You're always here for everybody.
Yeah, he fought more than we did.
I'm looking forward to going over to the park pretty soon here, and I would go there quite often. And like I said, I'm in the process of getting the brick to commemorate my sister-in-law who was involved in the Navy in Desert Storm. So I'm looking forward to doing that. But other than that, it's just 2 marriages I was a vet.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hugh.
Thank you.
Appreciate the call.
Now, Jim, as the resistors go, you have the normal resistors you see in your radios, the little brown little things there. Then you have the adjustable resistors.
Variable, yes.
Variable, adjustable, okay,
Yeah.
very good. And those are ceramic, the big ones.
Most of them are.
I guess you.
It was amazing. You know so much about electronics, but you couldn't put the plugs in the monitor.
I know. Well, it wasn't electronic. It was plug and play, so, it just didn't work that way.
What do I do with this?
I know what the problem was.
you can do with that.
You were looking at it upside down.
I probably was.
Yeah, I know you were.
No wonder I had a headache.
That's exactly. You were looking at it upside down.
There's a vibrator for that,
I heard. At different speeds, too, you can work. For the headache, that is, yeah.
I
wonder how embarrassed she was. If he didn't know she had it.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, but you don't have a headache tonight, do you? Yes, I do. Hey, where'd that go? Where'd it go?
I got the fix for you.
But it's the variable.
Now that's
resistor.
a gadget.
It is.
It's about the size of the center of a towel paper. Mm-hmm. And that's about the size of some of those resistors.
Oh.
And they're ceramic.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge.
They could
They're very big.
Well, they
it
have
depends.
smaller ones also, but they do get very large because they have to act as a load. So when you're having a transmitter or something and you want to test it, you have to put it under a load, which would simulate the long length of wire, the antenna, the loss, and so they got to carry a lot of current.
Today's Professor Gadget is over my head, Robin.
I know.
I don't
Me too.
understand any of this stuff.
Yeah, well,
I
Joe
love
and
the
I haven't.
acronym.
I only know how to plug
having
in
fun.
monitors. That's all I know.
I know. That was.
What's that?
That's his claim to fame over there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's all right. Just give it a chance. It'll catch up to you.
So does that hinder the advancement of what you do sometimes? Sometimes you've got a board or something that's not electronic, and then you have to upgrade to the electronics, and then sometimes it's more problems than what you had before. How do you
Yeah,
compensate?
the older stuff actually works a lot better than some
Yeah,
of the
I know.
new stuff, but it's harder to hook up. But it sounds better. It's like the digitally enhanced, records. Let's say where they take out the impulse noise. They they do a lot of things, and now the end is much clearer and better. But in the meantime, what they had to go through to do that was unbelievable. So.
Do you know what is in audio technology? I guess when you overmodulate digital, it clips it, and it's just like it's horrible.
Right.
If you overmodulate analog, it's just kind of fuzzy or something. It's
right.
And sometimes, and Joe noticed this the other day in a piece we did. It's like intentionally overmodulated. So I guess in today's world, like if a kid was doing rap music or something wants something that sounds like old school overmodulated, I guess there's a way to do that. It's like the fake overmodulation, I guess, because that's what we heard. Remember
Yes,
on that
sure,
piece?
there is.
Yeah.
But that's electronically enhanced, right, Jim?
Yeah, and you can see modulation. You put it on an oscilloscope, and it's supposed to look like a triangle and come to a nice triangle point. But if the triangles cross at the top, looking almost like a teepee, where you had the triangle, then the stakes would stick out past the teepee, then that's overmodulation, and then you make the correction there. So for a tech, he knows what he's looking at when he sees modulation and overmodulation or undermodulation.
For those who remember the Outer Limits,
Right,
TV,
right.
they started the show with
With an
oscillator.
Yeah. Do you still use oscillators when you do your job? Like to analyze something? Or?
We do, but they're built into the piece of a test gear. Instead of having to modulate something or oscillate something, it's all built in.
How do you determine the quality of the programming on the channels that you select for your system?
Well, a lot of it is if trash comes in, trash goes out. In other words, if you receive a signal that looks very snowy or grainy, then that's basically what you're going to receive. That's what you're going to transmit. So we have to do everything in our power to get the signal looking good before we retranslate. But that's with our eye, what the customer sees. With the meters, we look at the level, because if the signal is somewhat low and the noise is somewhat high, then the signal to noise ratio is too close. And we got to separate. We got to get that signal higher than the noise, or else once we amplify it, we're just amplifying noise right along with signal. And so you, the end user, sees a worse picture than if you had your own antenna.
Oh.
So when you send out a signal, does it spread like light does? And if so, let me ask two questions at once. If so, how do we manage to communicate to Mars and to the moon and so far away?
Well, it depends what the signal is going out on. If it's going out on like a radio tower, then that's one method of transmission. If it's going out on fiber or going out on coax or going out on the internet, such as a Cat5 cable, let's say, like you have in your office for data, so that each one has its own shortfalls and its own benefits. So the other thing is, how do you reach, let's say, Mars? That's a different frequency and a different type of spectrum. So it has what we call error corrections in it. So it senses a bounce back off the moon or back off Mars, and it makes the corrections. That's why it takes literally a long time.
Wow.
Because it's making error corrections.
Have you ever worked on any of those or used any of those audio telescopes that they use, where they're listening to things in space?
No. Nope. No.
They have one online. You can listen to. I don't know what I'm listening to. It's
You
just
can? Wow.
Yeah.
that is
you hear
cool.
static.
Oh yeah, I can get it for you.
Wow.
Like someone snoring.
No, it's like science
Jim's
fiction.
not right. Jim's not
Science fiction.
Hey, science fiction. Now, with internet, we'll go back to internet with you, Jim. The transmission is either through copper or the light.
Or fiber.
Fiber, which is light.
Yes.
So you're transmitting light rather than a signal through copper.
Exactly.
And that light travels faster than he does through copper, logically.
Correct.
It's cleaner if the splices are done correctly. And therefore, is it better?
It is better because it has less degradation. Any kind of medium that is copper, when you have twists and bends in the copper, when you have temperature change in the copper, temperature change is a big one. A lot of cable TV systems, for instance, when it gets cold, the tech has to go out and realign the amplifiers, even though they may have an automatic temperature control in them.
So if it's going out, you have a longer feed before you have to have a booster.
Yes.
There you go. And there's your signal. I'm getting out.
And by the way, just real quickly, since it's Veterans Day and you're talking about technology, there was a website we had yesterday. It was vetjobs.com. You can, if you're a veteran and you're looking for a job in the technological field, they've got a whole list of them, and some of them are right here in Ocala.
I'll write that down, 'cause I have a friend of mine looking for a job.
Vetjobs.com.
Vetjobs.com.
And Jim, real quickly, how do we get a hold of you?
854-9795.
All right, we will be right back.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Have a great Veterans Day.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Jim.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. More post-election protests in cities like New York, Chicago, and Portland, Oregon, where things turned violent. Police firing tear gas to break up protests, which at one point attracted an estimated 4,000 people in downtown Portland.
After calling the protests unfair and incited by the media, Mr. Trump has changed his tone, tweeting this morning, "Love the fact that small groups of protesters last night have passion for our great country." Yesterday, the president-elect appeared to be in a conciliatory mood after meeting with President Obama in the Oval Office, calling him a good man.
Fox Radio's Rachel Sutherland. And Trayvon Martin's shooter George Zimmerman back in the news. Authorities say he was ordered to leave a bar in Florida after he accused a black customer of hitting him and using